Hey, what's up guys? Thanks for clicking on another video of mine, unless it's your first time here, in which case I welcome you to subscribe so you can catch future content. If it's your first time seeing the Ranger Crew 570 here, I've got a couple other previous videos to this one. I'll try to link those down below, but make sure you go check those out as well. This video is to just discuss the mounting of a light bar on this machine, and I guess a little bit of general information on accessory mounting, because there is not a lot of information out there on this exact machine. When I ordered it and had it coming in, I wasn't sure. I knew I wanted a light bar on there. What size do I get? What brackets? Where am I going to wire it? Where are my power connection points? There is just not a lot of information out there. With a bunch of reading and all the studying I could do, I conjured up the best idea I could come up with, and luckily everything I ordered fit to a T. Well, with a little bit of modification, so I'll talk about that. But this is just to help fill you in so you won't have to make the guesswork or take the risk and wait the weeks for something to come in only to have it not work properly. But I think I've got a really nice system here now, and all for a really good affordable price as well. So the light bar I chose, I'll link down in the description. It is a Nilight. It's the 42-inch curve. Now, as you can see here, the 42-inch really gives you about as much light as possible as you can on this machine. You don't have much, just a couple inches. You maybe could squeeze 46 inches of light there, but your brackets would have nowhere to go then, so that wouldn't work. Like I said, this is the Nilight, the 42-inch curve, and the radius just perfectly fits the frame on the machine. Now with this new ProFit cab, if you've got the windshield and the doors and stuff like that on there, it gets a little bit difficult wondering how you're going to mount stuff. A lot of people get, I can't remember the brand name, but they're these brackets that mount on the ProFit cab, but then they aren't fitting exactly to the light, so they're having to bend them in or make up extra secondary brackets to come in on your light. Plus they're a little bit expensive, so I would have went that route if I had to, but like I said, I took the chance on this one, hoping I would find somewhere to mount it, and I did just that. Notice with this Nilight 42-inch curve, I got just enough room here for the brackets to fit inside on the cab. This is the Polaris, just the polycarbonate cab or whatever. You see it has some flex in the cab itself. It's quite thick plastic in here, so there's no worry about that. It's probably a solid quarter-inch of plastic, no lie, right in here. It's a lot thicker than the slip. Now you can probably see these bases here. See this angled plane? These come flat. Now they come with a rubber separator here as well, so it's not aluminum on here chafing at your roof. They come flat though, and I did grind a flat, or sort of an angle, sorry, just to help meet with the radius of the roof here. Now the reason I did that, if this was left completely flat, as I tighten it down, it would draw my roof up like this, and it would probably pull this corner up a solid ½ inch on each side. That's how much. So with a little bit of angle, and then it did draw the roof up just a little bit. Everything is nice and rigid, and there's no real strained angles there. As you can see, fits with room to spare. Went right down on top of this lip. Now my next question was, how do you neatly run cables with the doors on this ProFit cage? Where do you keep cables neatly? Because I hate, things zip tied on and hanging off the bike and stuff. Well, there is a gap right down between the frame and the weather stripping of the window. It's all the way around. It's just the fit of the window and the frame. That's how it sits, and that is plenty of big for a nice size cable in there. So you see I just mounted it so the light was on this end. The cable just wraps down under the roof like that, runs right down in underneath the front hood. I could have had the light switched over and done the same thing on that side. It's the same amount of space. If you're trying to tuck your cable in, there's not quite enough room, there's a gap on the other side. All you have to do is undo your toggles for your ProFit glass, leave a little bit of slack, push it in there, crank your toggles back down, and that wire is sort of pinched there. And as you can see, it's a really nice clean look. So I hope we're already answering a bunch of questions for you. The next is why under the hood, or where are we connecting our power for the light? And I think the Ranger does a really good job in their setup for accessories. Their hood opens here. Of course, the engine is in the rear. So the front is just left wide open for wiring and accessories. It's just really nice for heating systems or stereo systems or any type of electrical components like that. So all of this black plastic, or the firewall you see here, is the dash. It's one layer of plastic and you can punch through it, which makes it really nice for mounting switches and stuff. We'll get to that in a minute. A lot of the videos I saw mentioned that your Polaris Ranger will come with the new pulse bar. This is the 2021. It's a premium model. It didn't come with the pulse bar. As far as I can understand online, that is an accessory, a paid option. And if you have the pulse bar, it works with Polaris accessories, but if you're buying like an aftermarket light bar and stuff, you'll have to buy the proper plugs that work with the pulse bar. So not really needed. It's not really like industry standard. It's just Polaris type of thing. So don't worry about the pulse bar. What you will definitely get is this like bus bar system. What you have here is the small bar, you see, with 3 terminals. One is your ground, one is constant power, power in, and they have power run right from the battery and ground right from the battery there. The other one is a keyed on. For mine here, mine is wired up so that the top is a key on. So this toggle, this top terminal here, doesn't have any power unless your key is clicked on. So it's signaled by the ignition. If you power up from this bottom one here, it's constant power. So I ran a switch for my light bar that has its LED lit, it's backlit. So if I were to wire to this one, that LED switch would always be on, so it would always be under power and lit up in the cab. And you don't want that switch, even though it's a low power draw, you don't want that switch constantly pulling on your battery. So it's better to have the key one, so as soon as you click on your key, you don't even have to start the rig, you click on your ignition, and you have power there. So that's how mine works. If you want to check out your own, and you're wondering, you can just get a multimeter and cross out with the key off and the key on and see where there's power supply. So if I run across ground and the key toggle, there is no power there, no feed until I click on the key. Of course, that's fairly obvious. You might be wondering here, this jumble wires, this is because I have the factory winch installed. This is how they ran it, but it's all very simple. So I ran a wire down to the key. I have a relay here. I just bought one of those cheap wiring harnesses off Amazon. Really slick. It had the inline fuse and relay built in. Really nice. And then I ran to a switch in the dash.
Now the new premium dash comes with 3 slots, 3 cutouts. Of course, one they take up themselves with a 4-wheel drive switch. But I wanted to make sure I had, and I'll throw a link to the switch I use as well. So you want to make sure you have the right switch to fit within these plugs here. So that's what I did. You notice here now I have nothing, so I can't accidentally drain my battery. And what you do, you just pop out, actually the center one here had a plug in it already. It was already cut out and just had like a plastic grommet in there. Just pop it out and put this one in. This one here you'd actually have to finish cutting out, so it's like perforated all the way around. You had to finish popping out, but really easily. Of course, they only have 2 accessory slots for you to use, but the dash here is covered in like wide open flat spots all over. Super easily accessible. And of course on the back side, there's not really anything there in the way, so you can go ahead and mount switches almost anywhere here, all over the dash, wherever. Down here, all the slots you could want. It's really nice, easily accessible to mount all the switches and gadgets you could want. But let's just turn that off. So you notice with the key on now, our switch is powered up. Okay, so you can see there the switch indicates when it's on as well. Then when the key is off, there's no power to the switch, so you can't drain your battery. Really nice. I'm really happy with the setup. This switch just fit in, just snap. Really good quality. I'll throw the link down in the description.
So I really hope that helped you guys. Again, this bike could not be more easily set up with that bus bar there in the front. Just long terminals, add all the accessories you want. Of course, keeping in mind the power draw on your battery. Good surfaces up there for mounting, but as you can see, you will want either the bracket setup or stick with the Nylite curved 42 like I did, and you'll for sure have a space there to mount. Even if you went with something like a 36 or in the 30s, you might get in on a more flat part of the roof and have a little more of a flat surface there with that 42-inch curve. Once we angled the bottom of those brackets a little bit, which was really easily, you could do that with the file, end up with really nice results. And it's not really bouncy or flexing there. It's really nice and rigid. I'm really happy with it. Those long terminals inside, no distance for running wires. You need very little wire, as you can see. 8 feet, plenty to get you from the top of the roof down and relax, chase it wherever you want into the terminals. And then almost no wiring, just to get from here to the back of the dash right there. It's super easy for cutouts. So as long as you have enough wire, you have that good switch to put in, and a light bar that fits, you can't go wrong. It's pretty easy to install and just awesome. Those factory lights are okay, not super bright. I have some LEDs coming right now, I'll share with you later. The light bar, nothing throws light like that many LEDs. Of course it has to be excellent. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you hit that like button, leave me a comment down below. Let me know what else you'd like to know about this machine. If you're considering buying one, or you have one and you're wondering about how to do certain things with it, let me know and I'll see if I can get some content for you. Again, subscribe to my channel if it's your first time here, and we'll see you in the next video.